Today, we're going to compare the cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro versus the iPhone 17 Pro. Between these two phones, a lot of it are very similar, but there are some little improvements that I do like on the 17 Pro. Starting off with the ultra wide, it does seem like you can see a bit more in the shadows, but it doesn't look too overprocessed where it would ruin the pictures or look too cartoony. So I do like how it feels more natural and stick with being more realistic. The next improvement is the telephoto, where you can clearly zoom more on the 17 Pro. When you open up the camera app, you have an option to pick 4x and 8x instead of only having 5x on the 16 Pro, which I do like having that option where I can zoom in just in case 4x is not enough. Because for the most part, 4x should be just fine, but it's nice to have that quick option to zoom in even faster. And then there's the max zoom, which is at 40x now versus only 25x, which most of the time the quality on max zoom on any phone doesn't look the best. So a lot of the times you wouldn't even need to zoom in any more than like 10 or 15x. The last improvement is pretty specific to me and it's pretty small, but I feel like the pictures on the iPhone 17 Pro has less of the yellow greenish hue. So to my eye, the 17 Pro pictures are just a bit more vibrant and it pops just slightly more, which is nice especially when you're shooting things like food. Next up is portrait mode, and you still have the 1x, 2x, and 5x, which by default the 17 Pro shows 4x, but you can zoom up to 5x. Between the portrait mode pictures, I really enjoy the 17 Pro's skin tone, which is slightly warmer and pops a little bit more. It's just a more pleasant looking picture, and it doesn't feel too cold, where the 16 Pro kind of gives that like greenish tone. But if you do use portrait mode a lot and you like the warmer skin tones, then lean towards the 17 Pro. Moving on to low light situations, I feel like the camera experience are very similar, which is the same as performance as well, because sometimes on some other phones, once you press the shutter button, you can slightly feel the processing and you can see the little lag going on. But on iPhones, it's very smooth and you would hardly ever notice it. I think the only thing that really sticks out during low light is when you start to zoom in and using the telephoto, you can kind of see that the 17 Pro is just slightly sharper or cleaner. So from the 16 Pro to the 17 Pro, I feel like the biggest camera experience difference is the zoom range. If you do go to a lot of concerts, which I did last week, having that extra zoom range is so nice, especially when you're sitting far away. Therefore, to me, I think the most valid excuse if you want to upgrade to this phone is if you are a concert goer. Now, looking at these low light photos out in the city, I feel like they're so similar, I can barely tell which one is which if you show me in a blind test. If I really want to nitpick, then I would go to the ultra wide and see if I can see a bit more in the shadows, but it's so slight that a lot of normal people wouldn't even notice. So of course a lot of people wouldn't upgrade from the 16 to 17 Pro, but I still do have the 15 Pro Max, so maybe I'll see a bigger jump from the camera quality from 15 to 17 series. But as of right now, the biggest improvement on the 17 Pro is the telephoto experience. If you love taking selfies, then this could be another big reason why you should upgrade, and yeah, they are a bit better and I do like the skin tone as well. If you love to vlog, then having that center stage is so nice, and being able to record horizontally while holding your phone normally feels very comfortable and natural to do. Moving on to video, shooting low light in the ultra wide lens is not the best thing on any phone, but between these two, it does seem like the 17 Pro is slightly improved in terms of stabilization, and I do see a little bit less micro jitters, so the overall video quality is a little bit cleaner on the 17 Pro. For the main wide lens, they both look so similar, I can't tell any difference at all. So if you do see any difference, then put it down in the comments below. Moving on to the telephoto, it does seem like the 17 Pro is a little bit cleaner. Even though the shadows are a little bit darker, I can still see inside, and I think it exposes better than the iPhone 16 Pro. And then showing max zoom on both phones, of course it doesn't look the best, but that is very common, especially in low light where you're doing max zoom on anything. But it does give you an idea how much you can zoom in more than the previous model. And to show you guys how it looks like during daytime, it's a lot better than nighttime, so at least it's kind of useful when you have a lot of light. Moving on to the ultra wide camera, they both look very good and clean. The only difference that I can see is that the 17 Pro has less of that greenish yellow hue. So if you look at that white car in the beginning, or even at the ground right now, the car looks more white and the ground looks more gray on the 17 Pro than the 16 Pro. And that alone looks more natural to me, so I am happier with the 17 Pro. Then moving on to the main wide camera, again, just like the nighttime shots, it looks so similar, I cannot tell which one is which or which one is better. And I'm ending it off with the telephoto lens. So let me know what you guys think about the 17 Pro. To me, I think that if you really want a good or better telephoto lens on your iPhone, then it could be a good upgrade. But I feel like for most people, if you do have the 16 Pro, stick with it for a while and only upgrade if something really bad happens to your phone. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.